How do we find our bliss? Okay, that's the question for number 110 on the list of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. If you'd like to get a free guide to my 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life, just leave a note in the comments section with your email. I'll send that out to you for free. Also, to bone up on your Tree of Life understanding, you can watch my video called Tree of Life, an Introduction, and that should get you up to speed to be able to watch and follow along with all 144 of these videos, each one for a different fractal faculty of the Tree of Life. And today we're looking at number 110. And here is the Tree of Life. And just keep in mind, the tree is basically a map of our consciousness. And each one of the circles here is an aspect of our consciousness, or a faculty of our consciousness, a potential of our consciousness. We start with the 10th sphere here already open, and then as we evolve and age, we are able to have the opportunity to open up the other aspects. Some of us don't open up too many of them. Some of us don't open up any of them. And depending on our intentions and our level of discipline, we can rise up and open up all the rest of them. It's a rare person that gets everything open. But anyway, there are 12 of them, starting here at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then there's an abyss right here, and then there's a 0 above the tree, a total of 12 different aspects of our consciousness. And today we are set up in number 2. And for number 110, we're in number 2. And number 2 is one of our divine faculties. This trinity here, our divine faculties: omnipotence, all-powerful; omniscience, all-knowing; and omnipresent, everywhere at once, all present. So for the second sphere, we're talking about omniscience, all-knowing, or wisdom. And omniscience, it doesn't mean that we know everything. Doesn't mean that we know how many blades of grass are in the front yard, or how many grains of sand are, on the, Atlantic Ocean. But we do know things that are humanly, anything that's humanly capable, we're capable of finding out, which is basically our ability to solve problems that we face in our life. This is our ability to solve problems, and we're able to solve problems not by thinking about them, but by not thinking about them, because our thinkings are a limitation. We limit ourselves, and we are always orienting ourselves and telling ourselves, that's impossible, that can't be done, that's not in the realm of possibility, and so we dismiss the solutions when they appear to us. Our A-sphere, our logical thinking mind, dismisses the solutions that we arrive at as being not possible. So what we have to be able to do is really shut this off in order to be able to access the realm of full possibility here at the 10th sphere, at the second sphere. That's like thinking outside the box. It's really just not thinking. And that is a tall order. If you've ever tried meditation, the object of meditation, at least many of the meditations that you might do, is to be able to have some control over your thinking process. Either not thinking or being able to think, but not follow that train of thought. We have a thought, but then it turns into a train of thought. And that's really basically daydreaming. And meditation is a training to get you to stop doing that and have control over what's going on in your mind. And that is a difficult process. You know, you want to just try to not think for about 30 seconds, and you'll realize that you don't really have that much control over what's going on in your mind unless you've been meditating for many years. And so not everybody is going to be up to the task to raise this level of omniscience, of wisdom, ability to solve problems. So that is where the surrogate wisdom faculty comes in, which we access really through the communication between the sixth sphere, the free will actor here, and the wisdom faculty, which is in a form of a divination system, a tarot deck or something to that effect, that any chance process that is set up to communicate from the higher self inside key signifiers toward solution to the problem. So you ask of the deck or the whatever, the cowrie shells, or whatever the divination system is, and then the Urim and Thummim, and then you're able to get a communication back that gives you the answer. But it's also a process, because you have to be able to interpret the answers, and that is, can be difficult. You really have to be able to kind of set up a dialogue with the deck or whatever it is that you're working with, so that you kind of understand how it responds. You understand what its communication process is, so that you can understand what the reading is. Okay, so that's the second sphere being one of our 12 faculties of consciousness. Now, how do we get from 12 faculties all the way to 144 fractal faculties? What we're doing is taking the tree of life to the second power. 12 times 12 is 144. And so what we're doing is taking the whole tree and shrinking it down to the size of a sphere, and then applying it to each sphere. So each sphere is broken down into its 12 parts. And so including the second sphere, we break it down to its 12 parts. So it's got a mini night sphere, a mini 10th sphere, a mini ninth sphere, a mini 8th sphere, a mini 7th sphere, and so on. And for the purposes of number 110 on this list of the 144 fractal faculties, what we're talking about is the mini ninth sphere within the second sphere. Okay, so we're within the second sphere, but we're talking now about the ninth sphere, which has to do with our domestic consciousness. This is our aspect of consciousness that we start to access as soon as we're born, as soon as we're able to we're in the household. This is our domestic, like in the household. And we have people that are raising us, that are feeding us, clothing us, cleaning us up, and we develop a level of devotion with them, and then we are able to use our heightened receptivity in order to be able to basically watch intently what they do and then learn how to copy it. So it's a thing about imitation and then repetition and learning. So this is an accelerated learning cycle here at the second sphere. And it also has to do with what you would call trance, being able to get into that state of trance, a mediumistic trance here at the ninth sphere, where you're highly receptive to your environment, to in particular those people that you're devoted to, and you watch what they do, you imitate what they do, and you practice that until you get it right. And so that is the mini aspect here within the second sphere, within the overall ability to solve problems, the omniscience. Then in addition to that, we have this ninth sphere aspect of heightened receptivity. Okay, so those those factors are going into forming stage number 110, which is about entry into a state of bliss where thinking is shut down. The thinking process is preceded by a direct information download and a visual image. At that point, everything seems so clear. If the person is able to block the accompanying verbal thought, the clarity remains. Ecstatic trance state. At this stage, the initiate has mastered the deep rhythmic breathing and upright posture at the proper angle that is necessary for her to master the hyper-aware ecstatic trance state. Within this trance state, the body lean comes forward, small of the back in, chest out, shoulders back and down, abdomen in automatically whenever the posture slips or the attention wanes. Tongue on upper gum in the middle where the gum meets the teeth. Focus on the third eye between, behind, and slightly above the eyebrows. Through this controlled breathing state, with no interference from strung together thought, the initiate suddenly slips into the state of kumbhaka, Kavala kumbhaka, where its breathing is taken over by the indwelling intelligence, the higher self. And in that state, we are also able to gain access to this level of omniscience. No storage needed, like a hologram, stored in the interference pattern of two lasers, stored in time, that is, in contexts or angles. Hyper-aware state, hyper-wakeful, point where the sphere of awareness becomes free of thoughts, allowing the consciousness to sense that which is conscious. It leads to the non-REM. We do not achieve consciousness of self when we space out or enter into non-REM during sleep. Thought drift activity is just a different degree of the dream activity. Experiencing. Ecstasy accessed when we are able to transcend torture, on the cross or otherwise, the peace inside the pain, the runner's high from maniacal long-term exertion. Both the meditation and the extended exertion can get us into a state of not thinking for so long, long enough to get through the thinking and memory rewind of the non-REM state and into the thinking only rewind of the REM state. Feel your body, every percept, with no commentary. In meditation, there's an insect crawling on me, perfect. Follow it as it crawls across your body. If we can do this for long enough, we'll get to the ecstasy. Not thinking is like excavating in time, aggregating space, otherwise known as holes, and otherwise known as electrons. Breathing is taken over. Let the self breathe you, to show you, to tutor you in breathing and in solving problems. Witness as the apprentice of divine perfection. Sorry. That is the end of number 110, the 9th fractal of the second sphere. That's called ecstatic trance state. And we'll be talking more about that as we move along. But for now, that's where we're at. And thanks for tuning in to the video for today. Again, if you'd like to get my free guide to the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life, you can just leave a comment with your email and your desire to get that guide from me for free, I'll send that to you. I also have a book that's called The MASSTree, which is an intro to the tree of life that is about 70 pages long. If you figure out a way to give me $10 on Venmo or Cash App or otherwise, I'll send that out to you as well. And otherwise, stay tuned for future videos on this channel. Number 111 will be rolling out tomorrow, and many other things are in the offing. Otherwise, have a great day, and we will see you soon.